Now, don't be fooled by this weather. It is late spring already, and before you know it, it'll be summer. But if you are feeling behind, don't worry. There's still plenty you can seed right now, even all the way up to June, and that's what we're doing today. 5 edible crops you can grow now to supercharge your garden. And why not, let's start with some more lettuce. I have plenty of lettuce already outside in the allotment garden, but as the weather changes and it will get hotter, then lettuce will start to bolt eventually. Bolting means nothing more than the plant wanting to go to flower, and once a lettuce flowers, the taste gets bitter and it is quite inedible. So to counter that moment of bolting, I'm already going to sow a new batch of lettuce. And this one is called purple frills, because who doesn't love a nice frill? This is a leaf lettuce, which means you can cut and come again. It prevents you from getting a huge lettuce glut, which you're probably not going to eat anyway. And you can sow in small batches. Just sow what you need, because you can keep sowing lettuce all the way up to August, maybe even September. If the weather permits, you might be harvesting lettuce even all the way up to November. And sowing lettuce is very easy. I'm just going to fill this little tray with a non-peat compost, loosely sprinkle the seed around, and then barely cover it over with some new soil. Once the lettuce has germinated, I will prick out the individual plants and pot them on into smaller pots until they are ready to go out again. Now, lettuce doesn't really love heat, especially not when germinating, so I'm not going to keep these ones in the greenhouse. Instead, I might wait until the most torrential rain is over and just chuck them outside. And from here on, it will be rinse and repeat. I will be sowing lettuce all throughout the summer season, all the way up into the autumn, and continue to harvest them as long as I can. Give it about 10 days to germinate, and before you know it, we will be eating purple frills. Then let's talk some edible flowers. I have 2 varieties I want to sow today. It is Borage and then the nasturtium. And with its long stems and bluish purplish flowers, Borage is an absolute champion in attracting pollinators. Now, I want mine to grow in the grass border, and the grass border is just a fancy name for a long strip of grass that I only mow like twice a year. It's all about wildflowers and attracting insects and having plants to self-seed. Now you can absolutely directly sow borage at this moment, but I'm going to sow mine in pots. The grass border is already high up, and I don't want the seeds to have to compete with the high up grasses and other wildflowers. So I'm going to grow them up in pots and then later on transplant them into the grass border. Now, borage seeds are quite big seeds, so they can go in a bit deeper. About 3 centimeters is plenty enough. Just cover them over with some soil, water them and put them to the side, and in about a week they will probably start to germinate. And you can keep sowing them all the way up to July. So if you have lack of flowers in your garden, in your allotment at the moment, then by all means do think of borage, because this is an edible flower as well. The flowers can be used in salads, in drinks, you can incorporate them in ice cubes, and they have this almost refreshing cucumbery taste. So there are no excuses and plenty of reasons to start sowing borage. And the next edible flower is one of my absolute allotment favorites. It is the nasturtium. Now, I have been sowing nasturtiums from beginning of April already, and there are a lot of them out in the allotment already. But I'm going to sow some more. Because I need them? No, but I might have found this beautiful apricot variety. Now, you can never have enough nasturtiums. Nasturtiums do a lot of the heavy lifting in your allotment. First and foremost, they act as a trap crop. They will lure pests like aphids and black flies away from your other crops and just be infested with them. And they can handle it, because even if they get eaten, they grow quite rapidly and they will in most cases survive the onslaught. And if they don't, just take them out and plant new ones. And again, they are edible flowers. And not just the flowers are edible and have a almost peppery taste, but also the leaves can be eaten and the seed pods can be pickled like capers. On top of that, they grow really easily, they come in many varieties and many colors, and they are just a splash of color all around the allotment garden. So again, there is no excuse not to grow nasturtiums. And again, nothing could be easier. I have seeded these perhaps a week, 10 days ago now, just lightly sprinkled them over with some compost, and these are this big already. They soon will be ready to be planted out in the allotment garden, and I will just go around and spread them everywhere. Now with this new variety, I'm not even going to bother and plant them in pots first. I'm just going around the allotment garden, just push them about a centimeter deep into the soil in every space that I think, well, this could do with a nasturtium. You can keep sowing these up to the end of June, beginning of July, and then you can join an allotment full of color, full of beautiful edible flowers, and even on warm summer evenings, a gorgeous scent. Now, one warning for both of these flowers though: if you decide to sow them, then make sure you dedicate that space to the flowers. Both borage and nasturtium will self-seed, they will spread quite well, and you might be enjoying them for the next years to come. If you don't want them to happen, just sow them in pots. I will always champion edible flowers, and if there are two representatives that you absolutely have to try, then it definitely is borage and the nasturtium. If you are liking this video already, then do leave a like, because it means all the difference. And now let's sow some more vegetables. Let's talk radishes. Radishes are that ideal crop to fill space. Every time you have a little spot free, something has come out, something has stopped flowering, something has gone over, then take it out and sow some radishes. You can absolutely sow these in place now, and again, dead easy. Just sow them in rows about a centimeter and a half deep in loose soil, and keep them well watered. If you don't have an allotment, if you don't have the space in the allotment, you can grow these in containers just as easy. Put them on the balcony, give them some sun, keep them well watered, and you'll be munching on these beauties in no time. And this is again one of these crops that you can keep sowing all the way up to August. This variety is called Jolly. It's a plump, round, very red, very juicy variety, and I absolutely love them. Grow them in pots, grow them in spaces, grow them anywhere you want, but absolutely give these a try. Ideal to sow now, the humble radish. As for our last crop of the day, well, let's say it is never too early to start thinking about Christmas. That's right, if you want to grow your own Brussel sprouts for Christmas, then now is absolutely the time to get them into the soil. Since I don't have the space, again, outside in the allotment at the moment, I'm going to start these off in pots. Sow them about 2 centimeters deep and then pot them on if needed. Now, this is again one of those crops that I'm not going to keep here in the greenhouse. They need light more than they need heat, and if they are let to germinate here in the hot greenhouse, they will probably just sprout up and become all spindly. So together with the lettuce, I will be chucking them out somewhere free from slugs and other pests, and just watch them pop up in about a week to 10 days time from now. And in about a month from now, I will be planting them out into the allotment garden and just wait for the sprouts to grow for Christmas. If you plant these outside, you might want to net them and you might want to keep an eye on them. This is prime cabbage white season, and as these butterflies come down and lay their eggs, the caterpillars will munch happily on these Brussels sprouts and spoil Christmas like they were the Grinch themselves. If you happen to end up with the cabbage white caterpillars, just pick them up daily, check the underside of the leaves, and just remove them as you see fit. And before you know it, it's a jolly Christmas with these Brussels sprouts. I think I have my work cut out for this late spring. And so do you. Don't forget to label, don't forget to water, and don't forget to enjoy the season. Let me know down below in the comments what you are growing at the moment, and if you are still sowing more veg and flowers. Have you ever tried edible flowers, and will you be growing your own sprouts for Christmas? Let me know down below, and we'll talk late spring crops some more. Thank you for watching, and in the meantime, if you're looking for some more garden inspiration, that's easy. All you have to do is watch this video.